Hey guys, pulling up here to my other truck that's been broke down for a while. It's going to be one of my projects. I'm going to have to get this done pretty quick. I don't want to do it in the cold because your little fingers, you know, they get right cold when you're working on this stuff with metals and stuff like that. So probably wait for it to warm up a tad, maybe to around 50 degrees or so. But anyway, I wanted to show you around this too because I'm definitely going to have to get this done quickly because this is my spare truck, or my other truck, and it's only a half ton, so it's a lot better to run through the woods because it doesn't ride as rough as this dang old 3/4 ton Ford. So anyway, I'm going to turn this camera around here. We're going to get out of the truck and we're going to look at this other truck. Whoa, Lord. I never knew an old Ford could go so slow. But here, guys, I done set out some parts that I need to replace to it because this truck, I was driving it back and forth to Richmond for quite a while doing some work, and this truck just said, no, we ain't gonna do that anymore. It's a 1997. It said, son, we ain't gonna do that no more. We're gonna make you fix a lot of stuff on it, and we want to stay around the woods so you can run me through those woods. So anyway, here it is. So basically what happened, and you can see, got a nice little flat tire here too. And see, yeah, you can't really see it, but you can pretty much see those tires are about plumb wore out too from running back and forth to Richmond. I think I put about 70,000 miles on this truck in a little over a year. So anyway, but when everything went wrong. So what I'm going to be doing, of course, I got to replace the belt because the water pump went bad. The shaft came out of that. The alternator bearings went out. And all this happened almost immediately with this. So, and the front end was bad. And that's it's causing the tire to keep it out of alignment and wore these tires out probably a little faster than they should have, but still got some good mileage out of them. But anyway, this is a front end kit I got out of, I didn't get it out of, I think I ordered it on partsgeek.com. I think the other stuff I ordered it Rock Auto and Amazon and whatnot. Sorry, the finger got in the way there. Big old fingers get in the way sometimes. So anyway, but this is basically, you know, everything you need to replace the front end. It's one of the pitman arms. You know, it comes with brand new upper A arms. See, ball joints, and that's the lower ball joint there because the upper ball joints are already on that A arm there. And tie rod ends. And let's see, what's that? Oh, that's an old ball joint there too. Let's see, stabilizer struts. So I'm putting new stabilizer mounts on it, and tie rod ends. So anyway, so it came basically with all the parts you need to rebuild your front end, except for like the bottom A arm and torsion bar and whatnot. And also another problem I was having with this truck, when I bought this truck, it would not shift out of first gear, and ended up being some issues with accumulator spring in the transmission between the first and second gear, so it wasn't letting it go. And also I found out that the shifting selector shaft that goes into the transmission to give you what gear you want in it was also not engaging correctly. So I had to replace that, but I rebuilt the valve body and put a shift kit and all that in it too at the time. But old truck for a 97. I mean, that's an old truck. It's in pretty good shape here. I like the truck, and I enjoyed driving it for quite a while. And like I say, I got the truck. It had pretty much low mileage on it. It had about 70,000 miles on it. I bought it about 3 years ago. But anyway, it was a good truck. Like I say, I just running back and forth to Richmond for so long. Just really driving, what is it, almost a 30-year-old truck. It's just I just didn't want to do it. It would do it. It just, a lot of stuff needed to be fixed on it immediately. So I said, no, we're gonna keep you around here, Jess. And that's what happened. it would not shift into drive for me because the shaft finally stripped out on the transmission, so it would not move the shaft. So to be able to move the truck, I had to crawl under it each time, put a pair of vice grips on the shifting shaft, and move it to where I want to. And then the little electronic sensor down there that tells the computer what gear it's in. Was kind of stripped out on the shaft too, so I'm gonna replace that shaft, put a new gear selector sensor on it too. But other than that, she's been a pretty good old truck. I like it. It's got the 4.6 liter in it. Still starts good, but I'm gonna show you here. You can see and I brought this old light here too in my pocket. There we go. So I don't know, right there you can see that's the alternator. So she started squalling on me. I know the bearings are bad on it. She's still producing electricity though, so that was a good thing on it. And then down here, well, I guess right under the alternator, because it's 4.6 liter. I don't know why I'm looking over there. You can see the water pump down there, and you can see where the belt has come off because the water pump shaft just kind of completely gave out, and the belt says, "I'm out of here, guys." So anyway, you can see here, I put quite a few, when I change my oil, I write it down on a piece of electrical tape and stick it in here. But 4.6 liter, and I'll tell you, had another story on it too. This truck broke down on me one time. I was going to check on a boat at a boat yard and stopped. It would not start back up. Yeah, so being a mechanic and after fixing several cars where, you know, you just pull in somewhere and shut the car off and you come back out, start it up, and she ain't gonna go. And so I kind of thought it is probably the fuel pump. So I listened. I cycled the ignition on and off, listened, and the fuel pump sure enough wasn't coming off. The relay was fine. I said, all right. So the fuel pump finally went out. Old truck, no big deal. And the only thing is, it always happens, is I had just filled the tank up. You know the fuel pump's going to go out when you fill the tank up because you got to deal with all that gas to get the fuel tank out of it. So I dropped the tank from the bottom of it. I've seen where a lot of people have removed the bed to get to the tank in these trucks. I don't know why. It's pretty easy to drop the tank and put a little transmission jack under it and let the tank down there and just replace that internal fuel pump. But anyway, that's what it was. So anyway, I just wanted to share this. I know this project's coming up. I'm going to share this with you. I'm going to make a video, of it. And like I say, I got to replace this whole front end. I got to put a new water pump on it, alternator. But another story I wanted to share with you is when that truck broke down at the boat yard, what had happened, this is a 97. This is the first generation of this Ford bubble truck. And I'm going to try to show you right down here is that it has, let's see if I can come around here. I'm going to try to get the light good, but this is a coil pack, and it's got 2 coil packs on it, and it runs four spark plugs. And you see over here, you can't really see it with the intake tube, but I guess you can. I'll put you down in there. Anyway, it's down there. You probably, if you dealt with these trucks, you know about the old 2 coil pack, 4 spark plugs per coil situation on these first generation 97 Ford F150s. So anyway, replaced the fuel pump, got in the truck, went to start it. No go. And I'm like, man, what in the world is going on here? And went through it. So I checked around, going through everything. All right, let me put diagnostics on it, and put those diagnostics on it, and showed nothing was wrong. So it's really hard to say when you're not getting fire and the truck's not starting. If the computer's telling you, hey, I'm okay, everything else is okay, so you're just not going anywhere. And so I looked around on the internet and really couldn't find anything on it. It looked like a lot of other people had come across this problem and didn't look like they were able to fix it because it looked like a lot of these old F-150s, this bubble truck generation, just had the same problem and wouldn't start back up. And you go and people had replaced parts and just basically, because the diagnostics and the computer won't tell you anything. So all you can do basically on these OBD2 trucks is start replacing stuff, see what's wrong, and go test it and everything else. So I go through it, and I said, start testing it. And what happens, now I know my computer's good because it's sending me signal, or this is what I thought, sending me signal, sending me diagnostics, it's going through everything. The computer says it is good. So I go through it, and I was like, start going through it, look at it. I'm getting fuel pressure, I'm getting everything else, and I'm not getting any spark. Well, you know, on these old 4-stroke gasoline engines, you got to have some fire to ignite that ignition charge. So I said, So I go through it, and I said, coil packs, they're getting power, everything's good. So I said, and it tested. The coils were bad. So I looked at it, but took the thing off of it, checked the internal resistance on the coils. They looked fine, but apparently they're not firing, and they're getting the signal from the computer to fire. So I said, this is quite crazy here. So went ahead and replaced those coils, went to start it up, just I'm like, man, what is going on? I'm going through the wiring harness, checking the spark plug, looking at the spark plug wires, and this one kicked my butt, and I guarantee you this same problem has put a lot of these Ford F-150s in the junkyard. So I'm going through it, and I chase the wiring harness all the way back through the computer, through all the ignition components and everything else. So I go through it, and as I do it, I unhook the connectors to the 2 coils, and said, I'm like, okay, well, I checked it, and I'm getting all my signals are fine, all my wiring's fine. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So I said, well, let me try it one more time and check the wiring. I only hooked up the right coil, and I'm like, I was going to hook both of the coils back up, start the truck up, or try to start the truck up, and only hooked up the right side coil. And I forgot, because I'm rather frustrated, and I've said a lot of nice words by then. So anyway, I forget to put the electrical connector back on the left side coil pack. I go in there, I go to start it up. The truck starts up. It's only running on 4 cylinders. And I get it. It's running on 4 cylinders. So I thought that coil pack was bad. So I replaced that coil pack again and tested fine and everything, but it didn't. And I go to start it back up again, and truck's still running on 4 cylinders. And I'm like, good, what is going on? And I checked the signal again. And I said, check all the wiring going back, and then it goes through the firewall. You got a connector that goes to the firewall that goes to all the pins in the truck's computer. And so I said, well, let me check. Let me go through the computer and check that. So in this truck, in that computer, there is 1 transistor in there that fires each cylinder, even though there's only 2 coil packs and 4 cylinders go to each one of those coil packs. 1 transistor was bad in there, and it would ground out the left side coil and not allow it to fire. And when you hooked that coil up, it would ground out both coils. So everything just went direct to ground, so it couldn't fire in the spark plugs. It just went direct to ground, so it wouldn't start. When I didn't unhook it, I forgot to put it back on. When I put that wire back on, wouldn't start, took it off, run on 4 cylinders. So I go back, and it's that 1 transistor. So I said, I'm usually pretty good with electronics and redoing stuff like that too. So I went to go look around. I said, it can't be that bad. Fine, I'll just replace that 1 transistor. Looked around for that transistor. The only place they existed was in Russia. I said, well, I guess I'm not going to go that route. So I ordered a new computer for it, put the new computer in, and started up, ran beautifully, has run beautiful until a lot of the mechanical issues just happened. So, but it took me a while to get to it. I think a lot of these trucks have had these same problems and got scrapped because of it. So, because every bit of diagnosis you can do, everything you're taught just was out the window because everything checked out okay. You had to get back into that computer and find that damn transistor to even figure out what was going on. So that was it. So anyway, I got to fix this truck. This truck's been sitting around for a while. That's why I had to get that old 2021 3/4 ton. And I needed something a little better to pull with anyway. But this half ton, I want to get that run again because I do like the truck. I'm keeping it. It's always nice to have a truck and spare, and one you're not scared to run through the woods on. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you guys. This is a project that's definitely coming up soon, and I'll probably go up to my drinking grader too and pull the plugs on that and start putting some Marvel's Mystery Oil in it. Probably drain the crankcase, see if there's any water in it. But luckily about those updraft carburetors, they were usually good about keeping water out of the block, even though they were a monstrosity. That's the best word I can think of right now. And I believe Lucas, the Prince of Darkness, might have designed those updraft carburetors. But anyway, that's the story from here and there. But like I say, I had to end up getting that with all the problems kind of went wrong at once. And I was like, this truck's getting old and I just need to get a new truck too. And so kind of borrowed a couple cars here and there for a little bit before I got the 2021 because there was so much wrong with this. And I had to do other things, and I was like, I got to figure out something here, and that's what I got, that 2021 3/4 ton. And it's a shame too, because like I say, I was working with a guy going back and forth to Richmond, and everything just went wrong with this truck. I told him I'd been in touch with him, or tried to get in touch with him a couple times, talked to his wife too, and he just never got back in touch with me. Kind of upset me. I had shared what had happened with it, kind of upset me. So I'm definitely going to send him a link to this video to make sure he watches it and figure out what's going on, so he will get back in touch with me. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching this old 97 Ford truck. And if you have any questions on that whole coil pack situation, feel free to reach out to me, and I can probably explain a little bit better than I did in this video, but hopefully you got the gist of the problem. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Well, really thanks for watching, and I will look forward to making another video and creating these shorts and everything else. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Bye.